Namaste. Welcome. Dobro bashalawat. Goedemiddag. Guten Tag. Buongiorno. Buenas tardes. Bonjour. Guten Tag. I am very happy to join with you today with participants from all over the world, from Hawaii, San Francisco, to Europe, the cities in Europe, to Moscow, Siberia. This is a very, very precious time now. And in my understanding, this time, this period, which is called the COVID-19 time or the Corona pandemia, is for you a unique chance. A unique chance to wake up to the freedom, to peace, to that light which you really are. The media, and not any of us has been not hearing the news and have been touched or confronted by fear, even panic. And as we all know, fear creates stress to our body. And this again is decreasing the immune system and is therefore not good for us, not good for the body, and not good for the relation as a society. But I don't like to speak now about fear, because you have heard enough of that. I want to speak about the unique chance. Look, nobody of us who is now following here, who is seeing me, who is listening, is living on the street. Everybody of you is sitting in front of their computer, in front of their smartphone, in their apartment, in their house. Not anyone is dying of hunger. Everybody has eaten or knows that he or she will eat. So actually, we are in the same situation like Buddha, because I also know that hardly any one of you is in this group of people who is really endangered by this virus. Hardly anybody is above 80. So you are also rather healthy people. So actually we all are in the same circumstances or similar circumstances of safety, like Buddha was when he was still a prince, Prince Siddhartha. And Prince Siddhartha left this palace of security and went out to the street and was for the first time confronted with sickness, death, old age, all this which is now playing so much also in this so-called crisis. And all of us have also been confronted more than in ordinary times with death, with the concept of death, and maybe also the fear of some of our loved ones, maybe our older parents or grandmother, grandfather, of dying. And Buddha, after quite a voyage, after quite some traveling, after quite some learning and practicing all kind of different teachings he was following, all kind of techniques and methods he learned. Like many of you also have been doing so many courses, have been doing so many workshops, followed practices, philosophies, religion, whatsoever. Because I'm sure I'm not wrong that you, at least most of you, are attracted to freedom and attracted to that, what is called liberation or moksha or enlightenment. And like most of us, also Buddha, after all these practices which he did and followed, he didn't find peace. He didn't find enlightenment. When did he find enlightenment? When he was stopping. And tonight or today, because we are in different time zones, I like to invite you to stop and to look and to realize who you are. Buddha was sitting under a tree, as you know, a peepal tree, a fig tree. I've been there in Bodh Gaya. There's still this tree, or at least some baby of this tree, which was there 2,600 years ago, is still standing. So now you don't need to go outside and sit under a tree. In some of countries, it's not even allowed to go outside. So you just stay as you are with me, and within this hour, we will inquire into the now, inquire into reality. Silence is divine language. In silence, everything disappears, And before this earth was created, before the universe was coming into existence, there was silence, and there will be silence again for you and me. And actually, as we will look, as we will experience, silence is now. So first, I'd like to invite you to sit with me together for some moments silent. Welcome. Many of you are meditators, and you might sit now with eyes closed or eyes open. So be reminded to breathe relaxed in the belly. Our mind, the mental activity is connected with our breathing. Therefore, it's beneficial if you just sit now here and breathe relaxed into the belly. Some of you might immediately sit in a joyful light and nowness, but others might be now overwhelmed by thought. Nothing wrong with that. Thought is a natural occurrence of your brain, biochemical reactions. Only for now, come here, come in this instance, become aware of you who sees the thoughts, who feels the emotion, who senses, feels the body, and stay here. Stay put as this consciousness itself. Let the movie play if there is a movie. Don't give it further attention, neither trying to push it away, nor inviting it. Become aware of yourself, of presence. Here is a presence which I call consciousness. Be that. Relaxed belly breathing. Presence. Be empty, empty of the past. All the experiences which have been there. The troubles, the challenges. Whatever. It's gone. Stay present. I am. This is knownness. And likewise, no need to care for the future, the hopes, the wishes, the dreams, the imaginations, the duties. Presence. Only consciousness is here. And this consciousness is in itself silent. This consciousness is in itself untouched from past and future. And now, as there is awareness of this consciousness, allow this seeming separation to be one, no separation. Awareness, consciousness, knownness. A relaxed belly breathing. Now Buddha is here, and you are that. Buddha is just a name. I can call it consciousness, can call it God, can call it self. And this consciousness, this self, did not arise because you were breathing in a certain way, not because you looked at me. It is there because it has always been there, underlying each sensation, any manifestation. Just it was not seen, it was not lived. Shanti, peace. Let it be peace. Let it be peace and love. As you and amongst all the beings in the universe. Let it be peace. Let it be love. Let it be simple happiness. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Welcome. How is that? How is that to be free from everything? Like Buddha, untouched. Still, the human sensual experience can be here, all kind of emotions, all intellectual capacity, but the knowledge, the sacred knowledge of this underlying truth, underlying reality is here. And it can be here all the time. When you do your work or your studies and you drive your car or you are dancing or whatever you like to do. Welcome. I'm sitting here in Thailand. It's nighttime and very hot. I'm very happy to sit with you together. And of course, when I'm sharing my events or my retreats, very often there's not an instruction during sitting in silence, but now I found it appropriate to do so, and I hope it was beneficial for you and for the great meditators. It was certainly not disturbing. There, I hear before I came, there were also some technical issue because my team was a bit overwhelmed by the amount of people who participating here in this online satsang during the last retreat. It was a paid retreat, and there the amount of 100 participants was enough. So we managed at that time to have 108 people from all over the world participating. And by this time, so many of you joined in, and we had many hundreds. So there was first some issue to somehow let you in, but I hope you were not encouraged, and you're here now with me. I was speaking now quite a bit about Buddha, because this came to me before when I realized that somehow this security bubble we are all in, especially in the Western countries, was similar than the palace of Buddha. But I'm not a Buddhist myself. Of course, I've been studying Buddhism like many other teachings, and also following some years tantric Buddhist master. But the ultimate realization happened through my guru, Papaji, which many of you know, some don't know. I heard about him in the year 1992, because at that time, quite some sannyasins who didn't find fulfillment anymore in Pune went there to see him. And a yogi, I was at that time quite practicing yogi, and a yogi told me about this man up in the north of India, and he was speaking bad about him. He could not accept that what this master says, you don't need to practice to realize who you are, was of course very challenging for him. But for me, who has been also practicing and studying so much spiritual knowledge, religion, philosophies, it made total sense. Yes. This is the truth. Absolute truth must be here all the time, not reached through any practice. So at that time, I was boarding a train 42 hours through all India, because I was in Goa, to see this man. I was not looking for a guru. I simply was attracted by freedom. And to what he pointed out made total sense to me. And I applied what he advised, to apply self-inquiry with the question, who am I? To inquire if I am this body, if I am this person which I was told to be, which I was programmed to be, and which I had become. And I realized that I am not nor the body, nor the person, but this consciousness which we just shared and which we still share, which we are. So as I say, I'm neither a Buddhist nor belong to any kind of religion. I only know my direct experiential experience, my experiential reality. That here is untainted freedom, untainted love of beingness. And because I know that this also can enlighten your life, therefore I have invited you to be with me tonight. Welcome. I wonder if there's some questions coming in. I check it. I have here one of these little tools which we all love so much, right? So Milan is asking. Milan is, I know him because he was participating in the last silent retreat in Tiruvannamalai. And he's from Slovenia. Am I online? Otherwise, I take a drink. Dear Madhukar, I've read that Ramana Maharshi said that it is due to previous life association that his devotees, his students, came to him in his life. So first I have to tell the ones who don't know Ramana Maharshi is a very venerable saint who lived in South India in this beautiful place called Tiruvannamalai, where we host every February this 3-week silent retreat. And Ramana Maharshi is the guru again of my master Papaji. Milan is wondering, so I am wondering, is it also the same for us? Did we also meet already before? Well, one thing is certain, we meet now. This is certain, so this we can somehow grab, we can hold in consciousness. Now reality. A master like Bhagavan was speaking according to the somehow level of understanding of the seeker or the questioner. So somebody who believed in karma, because we have to think this question was probably asked to him in 1928 or in 1942 from some traditional Hindu who of course believed in karma. So then he would answer also according to the understanding of the seeker or the student. So from the absolute point of view, there is no karma, there is also no former life, and there will be no next life. There's only consciousness now. And this consciousness is perceived by your life force and somehow put like a movie in this story, which you see and perceive as life. It is a beautiful movie, and for some people it's a challenging movie, for others, sadly enough, a horrible movie. But it is a movie. In reality, there is only silence. But most of us, all of us, like more the story, more the story. Therefore, we experience our life and don't experience dissolution. And therefore, also, most people are afraid of the dissolution, what they see as death. While when you realize who you are, and you realize that you are the underlying consciousness, you don't die. The body might die, the body dies, but you are this knownness. You are consciousness, and this consciousness is underlying everything. It is eternal. You ask, and if realizing the truth means that the concept of karma doesn't exist anymore, so does the circle of rebirth end? Definitely, the circle of rebirth ends when you realize who you are. So all these famous teachers who speak about their next rebirth are not entirely realized because they believe in the continuation. And does this mean that in previous lives we met in a different kind of relationship, not like this one, as guru and disciple? Well, I said before, according to the understanding. To you, I can say, yes, it is true. I was in the former life, in your former life, your teacher in painting. And he continues to ask, and how does it all work that one meets a guru? Well, first, there's this beautiful explanation. First, one aspires for the fulfillment of one's wishes. And either one believes in the guru of doing or the god of doing, of action. So then he wants to fulfill his life aims through actions. Others who are more religious would turn to God for fulfillment of their wishes and their desires. Then sooner or later, they get disenchanted with all what they have got and with all what they have reached, because everybody realizes that nothing of these gives one total fulfillment, total contentment, total everlasting happiness. Then one looks deeper and wants to understand deeper what is the meaning of life. Then you can say this either this disenchantment or God leads you to the guru, leads you to a spiritual teacher who initiates you in truth. There are many teachers who are just preachers and they give you just another teaching, another doing for you. What you have to practice, what you have to learn, what you have to study, and you should, in certain levels or whatever, however, reach heaven after death or reach enlightenment after many incarnations. But the Sadguru, the true Guru, directly points you at this fact that this Buddha-ness, this freedom is already here now. So you sit with him, you sit with her, and then some challenge come up, some doubt come up, he clarifies it. And you make this experience. First, it might be experience, or it might be an implosion, explosion. And then this, what is here, this freedom is so attractive, more attractive than everything else. And you realize that here is already peace, is already beauty, love, and happiness. Your question was further, and how does it all work that one meets a guru? And is it preordained that one is realized by grace, or does it happen by chance or by one's effort? It's certainly grace. It is certainly grace. It's for all of us, it's grace that we are here now, and realization of the now is grace. And when you somehow believe so much in the doer, then the guru will tell you, don't do. And if you're more the lazy type, then the guru might say to you, some effort, some little effort is needed. Inquire into reality. Inquire who is, in whom does thought appear, in whom does this emotion arise, whence does thought arise, like that. Susie Khan writes, Khan could be either Pakistani or Indian. Thank you from England. The energy is peaceful and enlightening. Very happy. Matsya writes, nice to be connected again. Matsya is from Sweden. Long time he has not been in a retreat with me. I remember at least 20 years ago in India, in Tiruvannamalai and in Goa. And Matsya is a Swedish surfer. So I have to tell you, by now they are even serving in Goa, but of course not on your level. I know you're the super server. So very, very welcome. Nice that you are back. Welcome, Matsya. Tobias Bengtsson, that's also from Sweden. Namaste, Hanuman. I remember Hanuman. He writes the same. It's nice to be connected to you again. Here I am. Doro from Vienna asked in German, Danke Guruji, dass ich teilnehmen darf. Wie kann das Selbst, das immer hier ist, sich mit dem manifestierten Bewusstsein verschmelzen? Translated, thank you Guruji that it's possible to participate. My question is, how can the self, which is always here, merge with the manifested consciousness? Oh, I just pointed out you. Simply by giving up the disbelief that you are separated. The separation is a disbelief. So first you become aware of consciousness and then you are consciousness. Welcome to Vienna. Vienna, I would go in about 2 weeks' time, but it looks like we are not allowed into the country. So I stay here in Thailand and we do another online retreat like we do 2 weeks in Berlin also. Berlin Calling will be also hosted from here. Most welcome to join. Ashoka writes, it seems that the Swedes are full awake. Ashoka is also a long time devotee of me from Sweden. And Very welcome. Now you see me once on your TV screen because Ashoka is a famous TV personality in Sweden. So now you see me one time on your screen, right? Beingness is bliss. Same clarity pointing to the beauty of now as when we met for the first time 20 years ago. Yes, yes, yes. Endless love and gratitude. Ashoka. Beautiful. Yes, therefore 20 years ago, I gave you this name Ashoka because Ashoka was a very, very mighty emperor. And first he was a warlord, and then he turned to the teaching of Buddhism and the teaching of peace and love, and reigned over a huge empire all over Asia, also here Thailand. That's the very reason why Thailand nowadays, and I'd like to inform you, we are writing the year 2563 right now here in Thailand. It's not 2020. We are many hundred years further. It comes from the time of Ashoka that he spread Buddhism here. So he turned from a warlord into a peacemaker. And isn't that inspiring for several of the politicians in this world? So everything is possible, even the ones who believed into the power of their firearms and rockets and atomic weapons can become servants of peace. Welcome, welcome to Sweden. I cried of love and happiness when I saw you, my beloved, radiating. Devoted Petra. Lena from Germany asks, hello dear Madhukar, do you think it is necessary when one feels bad, when one feels apparently negative emotions, to question them? Certainly, certainly. So where they come from, what you can learn from them, and what you can heal, and how you can heal them by conscious feeling. Of course, it's good if we feel also all kind of negative emotions, not about suppressing. And it's good if you feel in the body. Usually you can feel them in the body where you feel them. But then look, all these negative emotions, the negative thoughts, they again and again somehow reappear and re-strengthen these so-called negative feelings, negative thought patterns, and maybe certain reasons why they happened, traumatizations and so on. Therefore, it's very, very beneficial that you become aware who has this, what you call a negative emotion, who has this negative thought. Instead of judging, this is bad, this is good, I should be good, because then more and more pressures on you. You feel already from this negative emotion stressed, and your body is producing all kind of hormones, stress hormones. And they are further putting you somehow in a negative circle, physically even. So it's good that you somehow also there stop, become aware, and then you realize that here now, even this emotion might be here, but you, this consciousness is untouched. And then you become in the nowness, you come in the nowness, and this negative emotion can relieve, maybe slowly in forms of small portions, small quantums, because your body system is very intelligent and knows that maybe a total traumatization would be very, very destructive. So it can manifest in titrations, release happening, or little explosion suddenly. So you somehow not continue to be to give attention to them, you see. Neither you suppress, because everything which we suppress becomes even stronger. All right, Lena? Very happy to have you here. Dear Madhukar writes, Sangeeta, my question is the inquiry about the inquiry of who I am. The presence is felt in the now, but, you know, Papaji would immediately say, you know, nip it in the bud. No but, don't allow a but, but okay, I allow now your but. Your but is, but the thoughts are accompanying peace and thoughts follow each other as experience. Yes, of course. That's what I also said. You are here and everything might come up. You don't want to be brain dead, that you don't have any kind of thoughts anymore. It's about becoming aware of you, this life force, which is even giving you thoughts, gives you, moves your body. There must be something deeper than that. So you turn your attention here. Also your adoration, your thankfulness, your gratefulness. There is life force, which allows everything, which moves the universe, lets the sun shine, moves this planet, lets the plant grows, and also gives you this impulse, life impulse. Now there is thought, and you have been a nice friend of your thoughts, and these thoughts created your reality, and you have also been a victim of thoughts. Why? Because you believed in them, you thought you are them. And now you emancipate, you are informed, and you become aware, I am here. And within me, brain, biochemical reaction, thought happens. They all come from the past. And you are presence. So somehow you let the thoughts play and you are untouched. Of course, some thoughts you use, practical thoughts you use, thoughts how you organize your day, what you want to learn, study, work, whatever. But these unnecessary thoughts are not to trouble you. Like this, you are free and happy. So because also these biochemical reactions, they belong to the body-mind system, and this needs time. Body and mind is in time. You are timeless. Consciousness is timeless. So if you become aware of consciousness, slowly they become also less. But when you give attention to all these thoughts and believe in them, then they become stronger and stronger until you be just this thought cloud, you know? The eye cloud. So you have to emancipate yourself from it, you know. Like it's also important for us sometimes to emancipate for this iPhone, iCloud, I think, and be aware again. All right, Sangeeta, welcome. Oh, very good. We have finally a question from Russia. Dobry din, dobry din. Oh, it's actually already evening, I think. Dobry večer. Alina asked, for a thought to arise, someone must appear. Is this a delusion? Let me try to understand your question. For thought to arise, someone must appear. Well, it is more like thoughts are rising, and the thoughts, many thoughts, make up mind, and we have been identifying this mind that becomes the person. So somehow you can say, yes, the person has appeared out of this ocean of life, ocean of life force, ocean of consciousness, and through the identification with the thought, also the person appears. That's correct. And yes, you are right, it's a kind of a delusion. And everybody suffers from it, isn't it? While nobody has suffered from consciousness yet. Nobody has suffered from this love in the now. And on top of it, you know that it is suffering. Who knows that this is troubling you? Why don't you feel okay and fine with all these thoughts, billions of thoughts which are passing through you? Why? Because it's not your natural beingness. And while when you regain this natural beingness, which we also call Sahaja Samadhi, the real Samadhi, not a state of Samadhis like the yogis want to reach. The natural Samadhi, the natural enlightenment, that is being this beingness which always is and which has no states. Of course, here's the yoga question. Are yoga asanas beneficial to awakening, besides inquiring and being aware of being aware? Is yoga or are yoga asanas clearing the way? Yes, yoga asanas are very beneficial for your body and very beneficial for your also immune system, of course. Therefore, here also we practice every morning 1 hour of yoga. I'm very thankful for that. It's very, very good for the body energy, and it's also harmonizing the mind. And so we can say it's very, very good. It's a kind of hygiene, isn't it? So it's like brushing your teeth. But nobody awokes through yoga. So yoga is a preliminary practice. It is very good, and I recommend it to you. And luckily, look, when I was teaching yoga 30 years ago, hardly anybody was practicing yoga. Not even in India. Nobody in India were practicing yoga at that time. Very, very little. Even the famous teachers had very little students. Now you see yoga all over the world. It has become mainstream, and that's very, very beneficial. And I'm convinced it's very, very good for the health, and also it is part of this also transformation of the society, becoming more aware, having a more healthy lifestyle, being vegetarian, being vegan, more sensitivity. Why should I eat? The fear of death, each animal experience, and somehow pushes into the body, into the flesh. When it's killed, why should I take that into my body? Certainly not healthy. Not healthy for your body, not healthy for your peace of mind. So yoga is very, very beneficial. But I've seen yogis for many, many decades, and it leads also to attachment. Like any practice we do leads to attachment. And any kind of practice we do is actually fulfilled when we stop it. So you can do yoga in this understanding, and when you say, all right, here also, I look again where you wrote, being aware of being aware. So of course, if this is somehow accompanied, very, very good. Very, very good. Beneficial. But you ask me, is it clearing the way? This is, of course, a program which is in the yogic path, very precious writings, thousands of years old, by Patanjali, etc., etc. But they believed in a way that somehow through yoga, you go step by step higher, and they have also certain system of samadhis, of enlightenments. But these samadhis are not the ultimate, and for the ultimate, you don't need to do any practice. You need just this grace to, first of all, be attracted to freedom. Then the luck to the grace to meet a Sadguru who frees you. And then here we are. Maria writes, grazie. Dear Madhukar Ji, thank you so much for the grace and the consciousness which is here, just here. Love, Maria. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Many greetings. Dear beloved Madhukar Ji, thank you for the chance, for the grace. This being in silence with you opened up the stillness, the light, the love, the isness. No words can explain. Happiness and thankfulness. And with your support, I will stay in this awareness. Thank you, beloved Madhukar Ji, forever. Felicitas. Very good. Very happy. Another question from Moscow. Moscow. Kripala is asking, Dear Master, Namaste, thank you for the new meeting in truth. My questions are, is there any difference between conscious awareness and the one who is aware? And if there is any difference, what is it? Dear Kripala, of course, all these are words. And that's the very reason why very often I'm just sitting with you when you come to me in silence. Because also this, what is silence, transports itself and emanates without words. And when we use words, then we inevitably go into concepts. And everybody has a concept of God, even if he is an atheist. So, even if he's not believing in God. Likewise, consciousness, awareness. And when I translate them into German, again, more words are possible for the same two words. Likewise, in Russian, I'm convinced there are at least 6 words for consciousness and awareness. One fact is certain. You are aware. So we think at least that animals, and then they say lower animals are not aware about themselves, but they can see that, for example, apes you know, apes, our brothers, and the dolphins, for example, they recognize themselves and they are aware of themselves. So now we don't know if they do self-inquiry. We don't know who, but you can inquire. So somehow this awareness, or you can even call it now concentration, somehow you're not concentrating on the central experience, which is here. If you close your eyes, you would not look at me. You put this on awareness itself. This I amness. And the I amness, which was before identified with the body and with our person, what we think about us and what we present to others, now somehow melts into pure consciousness. And you are aware of this. Fascinating, isn't it? But you don't make a concept out of it. You don't make a story out of it. It's so direct that somehow it transcends time. It is so much now, it is transcended time. There's no past anymore, there's no future anymore. It's just presence, just consciousness. So I'm not looking for differences, I'm looking for oneness. And the one who looks for oneness also does not look, is beingness is here. That would be another word, beingness. Isn't it? It's now, there's no time and there's also no space. It's unlimited, so vast. And this beauty. The second question is, are there levels or stages in self-awareness and self-realization? Yeah, so many teachings speak about certain levels. But I'm absolutely convinced that Buddha himself did not speak about stages, you know. Also, my master didn't speak about stages. And I also don't speak about stages. I point you to that which is. How can be here any state? The state, the idea of a state must be a projection. It is a projection of the mind. And because people love stages and states and categorization, therefore they have been taught like this, you see. But the one who knows says there is only one. It's here in the cave of your heart, nameless, formless. It is you. It is I. What I have always been, who I am, and what I always will be. Tat Sat. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti means nothing else than peace. Peace, peace, peace. Om is peace. Thank you very much. Spasibo большое, danke schön. Dankjewel, merci beaucoup. Grazie mille. Hvala. Görsenen. Gracias. Tack så mycket. So many Swedish were there, and I know also from Finland and Norway and Slovenia, Slovakia, Spain, Ibiza, the Netherlands, United States, United Kingdom, Russia, Ukraine, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, and so on. All just locations. And luckily, the next retreat, somehow it's luck that it is, and a pity, of course, that it's not in the beautiful city of Berlin where we are coming together twice a year and have always a great time, also outside of the satsang. Ashoka knows this, and Lohita and all the others who are here. But we have beautiful satsangs there, but because of the lockdown in Germany, I have a bit to clear my throat. 1 second. Because of the lockdown, this satsangs will not be possible there. So the retreat will be also an online retreat. And I'm quite sure that my team will be able then to bring you into this whatever waiting room in time. And if not, then just wait like tonight. And so if you're attracted to continue our beautiful encounter, then most welcome. Join into that online retreat. It is, as far as I remember, starting the 30th of April, end of the month, and it lasts until the 3rd of May. So most likely I will be still here, maybe even more hot. I hope not above 40 degrees in Thailand, and then we can meet again. So feel free. You find information about it always on Facebook, Madhukar Enlighten Life. Please give a like, then you get the information, or check into my website, madhukar.org. And of course, you can also use now still the chat function. I hope it's possible if you have some further information, want some further information about this retreat weekend, which is called Berlin Calling. That means there will be great music also, and we will dance together. Actually, there was also music prepared for tonight, and we thought we dance like we usually do it to amazing music. But somehow there was so much happening here, and I spaced that out. So thank you very much. Maybe Ganesha is sitting somewhere in South Germany. Maybe he can put in the music now, and the participant can dance. And maybe my screen is off then, but you hear the music and enjoy the dance. I like to add, because I saw many hundreds of people signed in for this free satsang, and many of them have been my friends from many places, from Amsterdam, where I lived 20 years, and from Ibiza, where I'm often, and other places, from India. So great to be connected with you. I don't see you. I'm just seeing this kind of iPhone, which has this camera looking at me. I don't see you, but I'm so honored that you connecting via this way, and maybe you drop a line in the coming days on the private channels, WhatsApp or Messenger. And you know I love you, all of you out there, Batul and Patrice and all these precious beings. Also, many people who are not belonging to this Sangha, which I call my Sangha. Love to you. It's wonderful to be connected in this great adventure called life, and that we can nourish and support each other. Love to you. Thank you.